Halloween was yesterday and things are getting pretty scary. We had to watch the Jets on Thursday Night Football. Oh my gosh. There's been some insane sports media trade proposals. I don't know who cooked this up. I guess Gibbs is chopped liver. We probably should give the Browns a player. We'll just toss in Jahmyr Gibbs. He's only one of the best running backs in the NFL right now. And that's in addition to 3 first-round picks. I refuse to believe that whoever made this was serious about it and it was only to grab media attention. There's just no way. And I want to give a public service announcement regarding Halloween. Check your candy because you may be consuming some paid-off refs. And I don't mean to scare you, but it gets worse. The Lions are headed into Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers on Sunday at 4:25 p.m. And the Packers offense ranks number 1 in the league for automatic first downs on key third down plays. And on Sunday, referee Clete Blakeman and his crew are taking the field. And guess who was refereeing back in 2019 with the Lions' controversial 2 hands to the face calls that led the Packers and Rodgers to their free victory? But it gets worse. The Lions are 1-7 since 2019 with Blakeman's officiating, with the Lions under Dan Campbell's reign. Additionally, with Blakeman out there, when he's reffing divisional matchups, the home team is 22-12. Oh, and he also ranks the highest in giving out defensive back penalties. Good luck Terrion Arnold and Carlton Davis. And lastly, the Lions are the number 1 penalized defense for defensive holding and defensive pass interference, but that doesn't come as a big surprise. We've seen it throughout the games. They've received a lot of calls, but this is looking like a perfect opportunity for the Packers and the refs to beat the Lions. But that will not happen. I'm telling you now, the Lions will blow out the Green Bay Packers. But before I tell you why, let's look back a little bit. During Aaron Rodgers' career at Green Bay, he was 18-8 against the Detroit Lions. And if you take out his last season, he was 18-6 before that. That is domination. However, it should have been 16-10. 2 of them were hands to the face games. The refs won it for Green Bay. But over the last 2 seasons, the Lions are 3-1 against the Packers. It all started in 2022 at Ford Field when the Lions picked off Aaron Rodgers 3 times, Hutchinson with 1, Kirby Joseph with 2, and that win jump-started the Lions' comeback after starting 1-6 to finish 9-8. Then you go week 18 to kick the Packers out of the playoffs, and to finish with a positive record, the Lions beat the Packers at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers picked off twice by Kirby Joseph. One of them was called back, technically 1. We'll go with 2, and Aaron Rodgers' last pass as a Packer was to Kirby Joseph. Then last season, the Lions split with the Packers 1-1. The Packers ruined Thanksgiving for the Lions. It was a blowout. There was some bad decisions made, some poor plays. However, we blamed that one on the moon cycle there. But that was after the Lions on prime time went into Lambeau Field earlier in the season and blew out the Packers. Wasn't even close. Kicked Jordan Love's butt. This season, it's a rematch, a great rivalry game. The Lions 6-1. Leading the division, heading into Green Bay to take on the 6-2 Packers. And I'm rolling with my Lions to win this game, and I believe they'll win by 2 scores. Over the last 2 seasons, including 2 weeks ago against the Vikings, Dan Campbell's Lions are 10-3 against NFC North opponents. And you've seen the Vikings have fallen out of first place after starting 5-0. They've dropped their last 2, and the last time they started 5-0, they didn't make the playoffs. There's no way that's happening again. The Vikings are a playoff team. They will be out there. But when they started 5-0 and they were favored against Detroit, it blew my mind. After the Lions' commanding win against the Cowboys, it blew my mind that the Vikings were favored to win that game. I know it was in Minnesota. It's a hard place to play. It's loud. And the game was close. However, the Lions seemed to be in control after the rough start going down 10-0 early on. I felt like it's a horrible play to go for it on that 4th down, but they had no problem driving down the field, scoring touchdown after touchdown, and with the game on the line, Jared Goff in the offense was extremely clutch. For Sunday's matchup, I believe the Lions will win by 2 scores. I hope I'm not wrong in my analysis. I think it'll be close at times, but overall, this Lions team is just different. Look at the score differential in their last 4 games. It looks otherworldly. It looks like college. This is the number 1 ranked college team playing their unranked teams during the regular season. 42-29, 47-9, 52-14. And the simplest conclusion I can give you why I think the Lions are going to beat the Packers, they blew out the Titans, Seahawks, and the Cowboys. And then you look at the Packers, they are doing great. They are 6-2, but they barely squeaked past the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know Jordan Love got hurt in that game, but even when he was in it, it was still close. The Jacksonville Jaguars are one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Lions blew out the Jacksonville Jaguars back in 2022. Just wait until the Lions play the Jags later this season. The Lions have had time to bring in their backups in 2 out of their last 3 games. You don't see that very often. It's not easy to win NFL games, and they're blowing teams out. So I'm talking up the Lions a ton. I'm showing you how they blow other teams out. The Packers have had some close games. They've had some commanding wins this season, though. They've looked really good. Why aren't the Lions going to blow out the Packers? Well, the Packers have a pretty solid defense, and they have a great quarterback, Jordan Love. He is a bit banged up right now, and I'll tell you, if Jordan Love gets hurt and Malik Willis has to try it out there, they're not winning this game. Malik Willis is not going to be able to manage the Packers offense into a victory. They need a playmaker like Jordan Love. Jordan Love has made some otherworldly throws. I think he's a bit underrated. I feel like people don't give him the props that he deserves. I think it's largely due to the fact that he does make some pretty bad decisions. He likes to throw up the jump ball. The crazy throw to Jaden Reed a few weeks ago to the 1. It was a great catch and throw, but that's probably not the best decision there. The Packers have a great offense, and Jordan Love is going to be able to throw the ball this game. He's going to be able to put up a good amount of passing yards, I believe. There's so many weapons for him. Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Josh Jacobs out of the backfield. Tight end Tucker Kraft is having an amazing season. One of the issues that isn't as big as it once was for the Packers is going up against this Lions run defense. They're missing Aiden Hutchinson, and you saw it was definitely prevalent last week. Tony Pollard was able to have quite a few large bursts against the Lions run defense, which is usually one of the best in the NFL. Josh Jacobs is a phenomenal running back, and if the Packers can get this run game going, they can control the clock, put together some long drives instead of only picking up 1 yard on first down, and Jordan Love is have to drop back and throw it every single play if the Packers want to pick up yards, then the game might lean into the Packers' favor. That's one of the big things you have to look at, because if the Packers can't get that run game going, then Jordan Love is going to have to throw the ball a lot, and the Lions secondary is largely improved. Now, I talk about Jordan Love so much. He's still questionable. There's been no real analysis saying, is Jordan Love going to go out there or not? He hasn't practiced this week. I think he's going to play. It's a huge game for the Packers. 6-1 versus 6-2. It's the second straight divisional game for the Lions. That's for first place in the NFC North. So many implications, like the playoffs. I believe Jordan Love will be out there. LaFleur says it's a game time decision, seeing how Jordan Love is feeling. I bet you they're already leaning one way or another. He's obviously not practicing because he's resting for his injury, but this also forces the Lions, not knowing who the starter will be, to prepare their defense to go up against Malik Willis and Jordan Love. They're going to have a bit more on their mind. Malik Willis is still great. He's had a phenomenal season. I cannot believe what he's accomplished so far. He's led the Packers to 3 victories, starting 2 games. But in those, I feel like a lot were screen passes, Josh Jacobs running the ball, and Malik Willis getting the job done on his legs. If the Lions go up against a starting Malik Willis and he shreds the Lions defense and runs all over them like Baker Mayfield has done and Justin Fields, I will freak out. Another big determining factor I believe will impact this game is that the Lions are just proficient in every single area. You saw it against the Titans. They won by that many with Jared Goff throwing for under 100 passing yards. Just to show you, they can win any way. It's not always going to be Jared Goff throwing the ball. It's not always going to be the Lions running the ball. It can be their defense. It can be special teams. Raymond had an unbelievable game. And that's scary for the opposing team because they can lock down one of the other team's strong suits, but then the Lions can make up for it in so many different areas. Final score prediction is the Lions 37, Packers 20. I got St. Brown and Gibbs scoring touchdowns for the Lions. Tucker Kraft and Jaden Reed scoring touchdown for the Packers. I believe Jordan Love will have an interception. This Lions secondary is just full of playmakers, and Jordan Love likes to take some risks when he's dropping back and passing the ball, and he passes the ball a lot, and I think he'll be passing the ball a lot on Sunday at 4:25 p.m. The last thing I want to talk about is the 3 biggest players for the Lions right now, the 3 best players: Jared Goff, Brian Branch, and Jahmyr Gibbs. These 3 are the backbone of this team right now. Jared Goff didn't have the best game against Tennessee. He did take 4 sacks, and I'm a little worried about that. The offensive line was taking some hard pressure from the Tennessee Titans, and Jared Goff is just not athletically able to escape the pocket when he has a 250-pound, 300-pound defensive lineman coming full speed at him. The Titans do have a great defense, though. But Jared Goff, obviously, great. Brian Branch, this man is a playmaker. He said the game has slowed down for him. He says he loves Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator. He lets Brian Branch just go out there and play his own role, go wherever he wants. Brian Branch is just a football player. He knows how to find the space, reads the quarterback eyes. He's a playmaker. The X Factor plays or the Havoc plays that you've seen, he leads the league in them. Fumbles, interceptions, pass deflections, sacks, tackles for loss. He's all over the place. Every time there's a big hit, you see a man with a green mouthpiece sticking out of his helmet get off the down player. Every time there's a huge play, Brian Branch is there. He's saved the Lions on 2 2-point conversions so far this season. He's just there in every big moment, and I think he's just the best player. One of the best, maybe the best player on the team, the best player in the NFL right now. This kid is unbelievable. And then Jahmyr Gibbs. I was going to make a video a few weeks ago talking about Gibbs. I ended up running out of time. But I was going to say that, all the attention's on David Montgomery. David Montgomery's been having some phenomenal runs. But sneakily, Jahmyr Gibbs is averaging well over 5 yards per carry. And every time he gets the ball, he's like a lightning bolt. He's shooting out of a cannon going up the middle or to the outside. And I just felt like David Montgomery, because he was getting all the touchdowns, was kind of stealing the spotlight. And then before the Vikings game, I said this is going to be a Jahmyr Gibbs legacy game. And when he scored the Lions' first touchdown and he made that cut and took it to the house on that long touchdown run, oh my gosh, I freaked out. That's my favorite play of the season so far. I've been waiting for that long Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown run. I've been saying it since we drafted him. I want to see this man explode for a 75-yard touchdown run. That was just perfect. And I believe Jahmyr Gibbs is the best offensive weapon right now. The run game, when there's just a small crease, he gets through, he makes one man miss, touchdown. That's what happened against the Titans. He gets through the blocked hole, makes one man miss, one man on the secondary takes the wrong angle to tackle Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's gone for a touchdown. 75 yards. I love David Montgomery. I love every single player on the Lions. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's special. Him and Branch. And I'll end it with this. I always think back to Kansas City, week 1. Gibbs' first game in the NFL. He didn't have a lot of touches, didn't have a lot of plays, but when he got the ball, he ran so hard in that game. He had 2 super long runs where he was making guys miss, breaking tackles, spinning, cutting. And oh my gosh, after that game, I was sold. I loved the pick to begin with, but then you see when it translates into a real NFL game against the defending Super Bowl champions. Oh my gosh. Thank you for watching, listening. Go Lions. Fuck the Packers.